I would argue that the majority of deaths in endgames are caused in a very specific 30-second time window. Let's look at how you can optimize these 30 seconds so that you can have better endgames. The 30 seconds where players mess up is a time that is called the zone transition. This is the 3 seconds before a moving zone closes and the first 5 to 6 seconds after the next moving zone reveals. This applies to the first moving zone to the second moving zone, to the second moving zone to the third moving zone, and the third moving zone to the final moving zone, but everything you need to do in these times is basically the same across the different zones. The zone transition can be broken down into two parts: the before the zone closes and the after the zone closes. Let's look at how you need to play the before the zone closes first. As the clock ticks down on the zone and you get into the zone, your number one priority needs to be to prepare yourself for the next zone. This starts by stopping looking for refresh plays during this time. It is very unlikely that you find a kill during this time, but if you're aggressively looking for a kill, you open yourself up to getting hit hard, which forces you to heal up instead of rotating to the next moving zone. Now that we are settled in our tarp, you need to run through a checklist of information that can help you survive in the endgame. The first thing that you should do is check your HP situation. Figure out if you need to pop heals and what heals you have in your inventory. If you need to pop heals, you need to do this now, and while you're drinking shield or consuming white heals, the next thing you need to do is to figure out your mat situation. Check your own mats, and if this is a team game mode, also check your teammates' mats at the same time. During these 3 seconds is where the majority of mat splits should also happen. From here, you want to check your layer and terrain and prepare yourself to make any future rotations. This seems like a lot to check in on, but all of this information is crucial so that you can make the appropriate play once the next zone reveals itself. Let's look at one example so you can see how this plays out in real time. I'm going to slow this down because I'm talking over the gameplay, but this would normally be done in full live time. Clix tarps his way into the second moving zone and is ready to start his checklist. Clix first needs to check his heals, and well, that was easy enough. Then Clix should check his materials. Then finally, Clix needs to look around at the terrain to figure out if he needs to go up or down depending on where the zone pulls. It's not that complicated, and with just a little practice, you can get really good at doing this quickly. Anyways, now that you know what you need to do before the zone closes, let's move on to how you need to play the first 5 to 6 seconds after the next moving zone reveals. The key to these seconds is speed. You need to instantly rotate towards the front side of the zone within 1 second of the zone revealing. This is why it is so important to do all the things I talked about before the previous zone closed, because you don't have time to spend figuring out what you need. If it is an earlier moving zone and you tarp ahead quickly enough, you can often spread out the height team and get an easy height take, or if it's later in the game, you can often sprint to the front side and take low ground to get an easy low ground claim. As long as you're one of the first teams off of the backside of the zone, you'll find that your endgames will be much easier as you won't get held nearly as much and you won't be stuck on the backside of the zone. It is also much easier to find refreshes from the front side of the zone compared to the backside because you have to worry about fewer third parties. I want to encourage you to try to emphasize these small zone transitions in your scrims, FNCSs, and cash cups, and I promise you that you will see large improvements in your own endgames. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and check out my Twitch and Twitter linked in the description. Peace.